But keeping it with Netflix, I guess Netflix is the only streaming service out there. Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical. As you know, the Roald Dahl catalog sold for like, I don't know how many millions, and Netflix got to work. They got this at the beginning of the year, and they're ending this year with Wonka. Wonka's going to be coming out in December. But this is the first one of their big Roald Dahl releases for this year. And as a big fan of the original Matilda, like freaking love the original Matilda. I always like mention random scenes from it, like, oh, I'll be walking out with all these movies looking like Matilda off of the library. It was decent. It was fine. It doesn't touch my original, but I'm not one who minds a new interpretation. And at least they took it as seriously as they could. I like the choreography in it. I think her parents, especially played by Stephen Graham and Andrea Riseborough, really got like the tone of it. They may not be as like. It's probably nostalgia, but Danny DeVito, the way he was able to bring his his weird charm to it, it doesn't match that, but they were really close to it. I think the initial girl is really cool, but I figured what it was for me. I think the initial girl from the original one has this very overall country almost feel, and this new girl has like a posh. I don't know. If that makes any sense.
And maybe that's just difference. Like us being Americans, bringing that into it. Yeah,
that's what I think it is. So that's my only difference between the two. So that's a preference thing. They killed it with this movie when it came to dance sequences. I saw everybody sharing them. Yeah, they were pop, lock, and drop, and they were doing everything that they needed to in this movie. They hit all of the beats. I did hear some criticism for our girl, Nanny McPhee. I guess she's not allowed to get back into the costume anymore after making Neil Graham. But
I mean, she's been doing it. She's been doing the fat suit thing more than Eddie Murphy at this point.
Yeah, kind of has. They didn't match the cake scene. The cake scene is still untouched from the original. I will say that. But
not only that,
overall, though,
they didn't. Well, I mean, just to focus on the cake scene for a second, they didn't cast a fat kid to eat the cake, and they also didn't cast a fat kid as Miss Trunchbull or whatever Emma Thompson's character is. Danny DeVito's not in it. They removed all the fat people from Matilda, and yet they put the whole song in about that kid putting his fat ass to good use to eat the cake. Like, I don't know. They could find some chubby people to do this choreography too. That's a side note. I'm mixed on this, and I'm mixed on this, and it's like a couple different things because like on the one hand, I really appreciate how technically strong this is as a musical. Yeah. I think the choreography is all really stylish and flashy, and it has an energy to it. The musical numbers are really well produced and better produced than I feel like they are in most movie musicals. But I'm a bit sick of these like Broadway adaptations that basically exist to remind you of a pleasant feeling you had watching something 20 years ago. To me, it's like eating gluten-free desserts where it's like, yeah, this kind of tastes like chocolate. It's like, I don't know. It's not bad. It's just been streamlined in a way that I think robs it of a lot of the weird quirks and the eerie imagery or the offbeat performances. I like Stephen Graham and Andrea Riseborough a lot as actors. They don't really have enough space to get the depth that Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman had in the 1996 Matilda. So
it's too polished.
Yeah, it's a little too polished, a little too easy, a little too much like, oh, okay, a big moment happens, let's all break out in a choreographed routine.
It's like School of Rock if they adapted it.
Yeah.
If they adapted the Broadway version of School of Rock, they would never actually touch the movie School of Rock, and that's exactly the problem. They don't know how to let the Broadway-ness of it go to fully embrace the movie. It feels like you're at points just recording the stage. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yes. So I don't know. I think it's like technically good. It's just that comparing it to what we have, there's all these things where I see the gaps that deterred my enjoyment and also just cast fat people if you're going to have fat characters. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
So you heard it here first. Zach says, not my Matilda. But if you're curious, it is out on Netflix. You can catch it right there. Pretty good sound design, good costumes. And also, shout out Lashana Lynch. I do like Lashana Lynch a lot. I think she's great. Yeah. I think she's fantastic in a lot of the stuff that she's in. And
good casting.
Yeah, shout out her. She's really good.